dig a little deeper into Curious George Makes Pancakes. Think about the difference between a fantasy story and other kinds of stories. Yet, like we discussed earlier, things that happen in a fantasy story couldn't happen in real life. Let's reread page 1. There's the title page. There's page 1. The first one that we start to read our story. This is George. George was a good little monkey and always very curious. One morning, the man with the yellow hat woke George early. "Time to get up, George," he said. "The pancake breakfast is today." Where's George sleeping? Yes, he's in bed, or he's in his bedroom, isn't he? Do monkeys usually have their own bedrooms? No, not usually. They usually are in the zoo or something, right? Where do monkeys usually sleep? In the jungle. Excuse me. Or the zoo. You're right. Let's go on to pages 8 and 9. Pages 8 and 9. What does the picture show? That's not page 8 and 9 that they're talking about, is it? There we go. That's the one. It shows that people are lining up and waiting for pancakes, doesn't it? What part of this story is a fantasy? Looking at this picture, what part of the story is a fantasy? Yeah, monkeys don't really cook pancakes, do they? No, they don't really cook pancakes. Let's turn the page. First, let's read this. Meanwhile, the man at the griddle was so busy he didn't notice the little monkey helping him. But the line grew and grew. George's pancakes were a hit. Soon everyone wanted them, and the man could not keep up. "Please wait," he said to someone holding an empty plate. "I need to find an assistant to help me." And just like that, he was gone. George looked at the people waiting in line and then at the empty griddle. Why, he could make pancakes. He could be the assistant. George poured the batter into nice round circles. Next, he added blueberries. He waited just a minute to let the pancakes cook. Then he flipped them over. At last, he added syrup. The line of pancakes was enormous. But with 4 hands, George made quite a chef. And no one's plate was empty for long. So, why does Curious George want to help make the pancakes? Yeah, he can see that the line is growing and he wants to help, doesn't he? Do you think Curious George does a good job making the pancakes? Use details in the story to back up your idea. What makes you think that he does a good job making these pancakes? Because people say how good the pancakes are, don't they? So he must be doing a very good job. Okay, let's skip ahead here a little bit. He gets all sticky. George climbed up to the water tank. This would do the trick for a sticky monkey. George sat on the bench and splashed himself with water. But all of a sudden, Splash! George was in the water. What a surprise! George climbed up again and splashed back down. He'd never been in a dunk tank before, and he'd never had so much fun getting clean. Soon everyone was having fun, and the line for the dunk tank grew longer and longer than the line for the pancakes. Later, the mayor came by. "I've heard all about your delicious pancakes," he said. "You've made our fundraiser a big success, and I have a special favor to ask you." So what else does Curious George do to help out the fundraiser? That's right, he got in the dunk tank, didn't he? What clues in this story let you know that George was a good helper and a good citizen? He helped the pancake cook, that's right. The people wanted Curious George pancakes, right? Yeah. People liked dunking George in the dunk tank. They certainly did. And the mayor asked George to give the money to the hospital, didn't he? He was very helpful all day, wasn't he? When you listen to this story or reread it, think of other reasons why the people were happy with Curious George at the end of the story. Think of as many examples as you can. Stay safe. Have fun. Hope to see you soon.